Wait, Gigi, is this going to be in a video?
I'm pretty sure everyone has a chicken casserole recipe that they love, a tried and true that you can pull from anytime you want some delicious comfort food. Well, I went to my pantry and pulled out these ingredients, and I'm coming up with a chicken casserole tonight that's just a little bit different than any recipes I've seen. I looked for recipes for what I was wanting, and I couldn't really find one, so I thought, well, I'm going to combine a couple. So let's just see here what we come up with. I'll tell you ahead of time, spoiler alert, it was really, really good. Okay, I have 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts all diced up in my frying pan here, and I have seasoned it with onion salt. I have put on some garlic powder, some black pepper, and we are just going to fry these up until they are completely done, cooked through. Next up for the stuffing, you can boil your water and add your stuffing mix to it on the stove, or you can just put your stuffing mix in a bowl and put hot water from the sink on top of it for it to start softening up. And that's what I chose to do since it's going to go on top of this casserole and bake in the oven. I decided I was just going to do it this way. It was quicker and just real easy. So I want to basically get that all moistened up with the water that I poured over top, and I'm just going to set that to the side. My chicken is finished now, so I'm just going to turn off the heat, and to that I'm just going to pour in what I had in the freezer, and that was a bag of peas and carrots. I did not have like a mixed vegetable, and this wasn't even a full bag, but this is going to be just fine. I just wanted some veggies in there. And then to a boiling pot of water, I poured in my egg noodles, and I'm going to get those cooking up per package directions. I put in about 6 ounces or so, I'd say, of the egg noodles. Now that my peas and carrots have softened up sitting there with that hot chicken, I am putting in 1 can of cream of chicken soup. One recipe that I looked at called for a can of cream of chicken and a can of cream of celery for this amount of chicken and veggies, but I just didn't really want to add 2 cans of cream soup. So I added the 1 can and then about a third a cup of sour cream, and I got this all mixed together for the gravy portion, I guess you would say, for this casserole. What I wish I had done is added just a little bit of chicken broth in. I think instead of another can of cream of whatever soup, a little bit of chicken broth probably would have been a nice addition. This was just fine as it was completely, but that would have given it maybe a little bit of a looser consistency and maybe more of a gravy type feel. And of course, that's always great if you're serving it alongside mashed potatoes. All in all, this is really kind of a method recipe is what I call it. It's really kind of not one of those that you have to follow an exact amount of this or that. You basically have your chicken, you have some veggies, you want a quote unquote gravy type of binder to hold it all together, and then whatever your topping would be. This kind of mimics a pot pie, but it's just a little different. So it's just kind of one of those method recipes. And really, that's how recipes are born. People use what they have and they put it together, and voila, you have a casserole. So that's basically what this is in my mind. What I was really wanting was a chicken noodle casserole, which I've showed on my channel before, and I can link that below. But I also wanted stuffing or dressing on the top, and I couldn't find anything that combined the two, so I just combined them myself, and it turned out great. Okay, so here are my noodles. I cooked those and drained them. I did not mix this together like thoroughly mixing because I did not want the noodles to break up. They may not have, but I just wasn't sure, so I just kind of put them on the top. They're still hot, and I just kind of spooned gently around with the mixture that I already put in the bottom to kind of mix it without totally obliterating the noodles. And my stuffing is all ready now. It's just been sitting here waiting on me, and I'm just spooning that over the top, spreading it out all over, and I'm going to put this in the oven and let it bake. So we have basically a chicken noodle casserole topped with dressing, or a chicken and stuffing noodle casserole, chicken and noodle stuffing casserole. I have no idea what to call it other than delicious. Since I did not have a bag of mixed vegetables, I decided I would make green beans on the side. I was just kind of wanting green beans to go with this, along with the mashed potatoes. So into my skillet, I have a little bit of bacon grease, and then I'm just using these fine frozen green beans from Aldi. I'm not a fan of frozen green beans ordinarily, but I really like these. If you zhuzh them up a little bit, they really taste good. Um, every now and then I just kind of want these. So tonight that is what I'm cooking up. I'm just going through here now. There was quite a bit of the end pieces, like where the green beans come off the vine, that had not been trimmed off. So I wanted to be sure and get all of those out. I just basically cook these on the stove to my desired tenderness. So that's different for everybody, but a little salt, a little pepper, and they are just really good.
Well, my name is Henry, and I am 7 now. I just finished kindergarten, so now I'm in first grade, but on summer break. Summer break-o. Summer break. Wait, Gigi, is this going to be in a video? Well, this is for the video. I have not been in the video for a very long time, so I don't generally know what to say. And make sure to like and subscribe at the end of this video.
You want to show them your plate without spilling it?
And
Kinda
this
hold
is
it up.
my plate. Bye. Bye, guys.
Well, isn't he just about the cutest thing there ever was? And just getting so grown up on us. But here's a look at my plate. This was very delicious. I definitely recommend you give this a try. I will have some links down below that kind of inspired me for this recipe. All right, the clip you just saw were steak bites with peppers and onions, and I made a big portion of those to take to church for our fellowship meal. They were so good. I didn't have a whole lot left over, but I did have some, so I decided to turn that into some steak fried rice. So here on my skillet, I'm just frying up some celery and some red onion. The great thing about fried rice is it's real flexible. You can put in or leave out whatever, suits you, what your family likes. You can pull together a fried rice that really is how you want it to be. So I'm using what needed to be used. I had just a little bit of celery left. My red onion was already cut up, so I threw that in. Earlier in the day, I used my little rice cooker steamer, got my rice cooked up and in the refrigerator to get cold. And then you can see here, I don't have very many ingredients. I've got the steak bites that I sort of reheated there too, the onion, the celery. I've used some olive oil and a little bit of butter, and then I'm putting in this cold rice. So like I said, fried rice is so versatile. You can really kind of go a lot of different ways with it. And so tonight I just knew I needed to use up those steak bites, and fried rice sounded good, so fried rice it was. So I am just going to get this all combined here and fried up together, and I'm going to use this time to tell you something here. Just because there are content creators out there that show things on YouTube and various other social medias doesn't mean that they always have everything together. And I'll just say for me, I have just really been struggling to be inspired and to even want to cook lately. And I kind of feel less like cooking in the summer. That's just the way it always goes. But I just haven't felt very inspired or even like cooking. And to be honest, I just haven't been feeling well in general. So that, of course, when you're not feeling well, probably everything suffers a little bit. So I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but it's just been a rough little spell here. So I'm sure that's reflected in my videos because I just haven't been cooking as much and I just don't have as much to show you guys. But it's just real life, and I wanted to tell you, just because we show things as content creators doesn't mean we're always feeling inspired or necessarily feeling like even cooking. That's just par for the course for every one of us, I suppose. All right, my butter here is in the pan. My eggs are in the pan. I'm just giving those a little scramble. I always just pull my rice to the sides, make a little well of sorts in the center, and scramble up my eggs. And I'm adding in the barbecue sauce that I have been using quite a bit lately. It's a Japanese barbecue sauce that I got at Costco. It just has so much flavor. I did not have any sesame oil this night, and I chose not to put in any soy sauce, and I'm just going to strictly use the Japanese barbecue sauce for the flavoring. And oh my word, I'm telling you, this was so, so good. The Japanese barbecue sauce is really, really a good one. If you see it at Costco, snatch it up. You won't be disappointed. So that is what I used for my flavoring. So this was such a super simple steak fried rice that I put together, and I did not make another thing. I didn't have any egg rolls or any just anything else to add with this really. So this is just what we had, and there was even leftovers. It was plenty, and so we had our meat, we had some veggies in there, we had the rice. It was a very super easy, delicious meal. Showed these before, this Smithfield smoked pork chops. These are such a great thing to keep in your fridge or have every now and then for nights that you need quick. They're fully cooked, so they don't take long to heat through. I decided to make some gravy. Look at these pan drippings. I added some bacon grease into the skillet. I'm just making some gravy. I've made gravy on this channel so many times. You definitely have seen me make that before, and I'm sure you probably know how to make gravy, but look how good this is. We like a dark gravy, so I let this cook a little bit. I did some air fryer little hash browns and just fried up some eggs. I had 4 biscuits in the freezer that were from a time I had made biscuits before and we didn't eat them all. Those were so great to pull out and to just heat up in the air fryer, and this dinner came together really quick. We love a good breakfast for dinner, so this night was a hit. And the last thing I'm going to show you here is a delicious dessert recipe. And I saw this on Moss Family TV, and I knew that I would make them relatively quickly because I had all the stuff for it, and I actually had an abundance of strawberries that I needed to use. Now, a funny thing is about this recipe, it only takes like 3/4 a cup of strawberries. You can't fit a lot of fruit into a crescent roll when you're filling it with fruit and rolling it up. It doesn't take a lot. So I didn't get to use a whole lot of those strawberries in this recipe, but it was very good, very quick. And if you have ever seen the recipe, and I actually have it here on my channel from a long, long time ago, if you've seen the recipe that's like the Mountain Dew apple dumplings, this is the very same concept, only it's using strawberries. So these are called strawberry dumplings. Simple as can be. You just need your crescent rolls, your diced up strawberries. You're going to roll them up in there, put them in a baking dish that's been sprayed with cooking spray, and then you're going to make a delicious glaze to pour over top and bake them in the oven. I will have the full recipe down below. It was really, really good. I think you could probably even sprinkle some additional strawberries throughout, or maybe put some on the bottom, because it's definitely more crescent roll than it is strawberry. But it's still really good, and I would definitely make them again. I may experiment with adding some more strawberries, maybe just sprinkled throughout, just so you could have some more fruit. But whether you use the strawberry or use the apples to make the Mountain Dew apple dumplings, very, very good and quick. So easy, of course, because you're using the crescent rolls, and you just can't get much easier than those because they're already ready for you.
All I want in this whole life, a little red house in a country wife, a picnic table out on the lawn, a couple of kids and a couple of dogs. Work all day to 5:30, chain link fence and a gravel drive. The wind chime ringing on my front porch, a brand new carpet on every floor, and a rope swing tied around.
And then the fun part comes in when you pour in the soda. So any kind of clear lemon lime type soda will work. Doesn't take much of that either. Like I said, look below for the whole recipe. You just pour that kind of throughout, not necessarily on top of the dumplings, but just kind of here and there. And I don't know what the magic is behind it, but it works. That's what I do know. It works, and they are delicious. They're very, very quick and easy, and they're just kind of fun. It's kind of a fun recipe, and I'm telling you, the house, of course, smells so good. These are really, especially like an apple dumpling or something, you just think fall time with these type of flavors, but it was pretty great right here at late spring, early summer, too. We really, really enjoyed them. Of course, we can't have something like this without a little bit of ice cream. That just took it over the top. All right, you guys, I hope you found something that was inspiring today. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you've not, and come back for the next one. Hopefully I can have some more cooking going on this week and some good recipes to show you next week. Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise.
It don't sound like much, but it sure